one of the other initiatives that we are proactively pursuing, and the board as well, is to get into the export segment. So to grow our brand into international markets. We had a good plan when I took over. I mean, we had a good vision for the next 5 years. Of course, we'd never planned for COVID, but our sector, our industry was in a volatile situation. We had the Easter Sunday bombings, and then as a sort of an industry which has very rapidly changing policy decisions happening, we have to be somewhat agile, because the political changes and the government changes and all happen so regularly. Things like price control keeps changing every year, policies on price control, import restrictions. So as a business, the agile state of mind was always sort of in our DNA. So it kind of prepped us for the COVID, which is why during the COVID period, we actually believe we are one of the few organizations that managed to excel in that period, where our top lines grew by 50%, and our market shares almost went up by 3 times. When I took over as Managing Director in 2017, our supply chains were not fully established. We didn't have much control over the supply chains. So one of the first things I did was to establish our own managed supply chains for procurement of fresh milk, right, from the smallholder farmer segment. So this is a core part of the business, because without the raw material, you don't have a finished product. So in the first maybe 2 years, what we did was we went out quite rapidly into 5 provinces, and we established over 50 milk collecting and chilling centers in these 5 provinces, and we scaled up our collection over the period of the last 5 years. And now we consider ourselves in the top 2 largest Sri Lankan owned dairy brands, and we've been able to scale up our production with expansions in spray dryer systems, increasing our capacity of milk powder production from 2011, which was our first venture out into the segment, and then subsequently in 2015 and 18, where we have scaled up our production capabilities. So we are at the moment procuring about 150,000 liters on a daily basis, but we do have capacity for production of over 300,000. So we are proactively looking at ways to increase our collections by improving the yields and the productivity of our farmer bases, and being able to capitalize on the capacity, excess capacity, the plant capacity that we have. In 2017, I think we had something around 15 to 20 SKUs. Now, over the last 5 years, we established we established a new R&D, research and development department, and then we proactively looked at new products that can come up with into the market. So in the last 5 years, we have managed to scale up to about 45 SKUs that we have at the moment. And our R&D department has been able to look at new trends in the market, look at new gaps in terms of consumer patterns and behavior patterns, like expectation patterns, things that they are not available in the market. And we used a lot of ingredients that we source, that's naturally available in Sri Lanka, so many fruits and vegetables and herbs and spices and stuff like that. So we infuse that into many of the products that we have, from the ice cream flavors that we have to even things like varieties of butter that we make, like even garlic butter, and now the upcoming chili butter that we plan to launch very soon. With the exceptional sort of business sales and growth that we had during the pandemic 18 months, we managed to attract some good value-added members to our board of directors. The new board is sort of breathing in a new breath of fresh air. So we, with initiatives like, going through the digital transformation, going into online platforms or retail, getting more data analytics out of our existing operations, look at in more depth in data and the digital transformation. This helps us to improve the efficiencies in everything that we do, because we are in a sort of a wide area from supply chains all the way up to retail. So the board has been very proactively pushing us down the digital transformation path, the new board, and also with the change in our vision, slight change in our vision, where we want to, while growing as a dominant dairy brand, we also want to evolve into a food brand, where we are going into different sectors in the food industry and agribusiness industry, where we feel that it's easier for us to collaborate, because we have a very large base of farmers that we work with, 10,000 plus, and they do multiple producers themselves, not just dairy. At the moment we are very much sourcing only the milk aspect of it, but then they do a lot of fruit and vegetables and herbs and spices. So we feel it's very much easier to integrate this into other food sectors, because we already have the established supply chains, which is one of the main sort of strengths that we have over other brands in the market, is the strength of having a very stable and large farmer base. One of the other initiatives that we are proactively pursuing, and the board as well, is to get into the export segment, so to grow our brand into international markets. So we have been proactively looking at opportunities, and we do feel in the next 6 to 8 months period we will be able to start our export business, and we find that this is going to also help us with our sustainability, especially with the current climate of the foreign currency issues and the economic crisis. Adding, contributing to the foreign currency income and generating income for the country with value additions and exports, we feel is one of our top priorities in the upcoming few months and years.